You and 8 billion strangers stand shoulder to shoulder. The plan is simple. On the count of 3, everyone jumps. 1, 2, 3. The entire human race leaves the ground simultaneously. Does this massive collective effort actually move the planet? Let us calculate. 8 billion people is a lot, but compared to the Earth it is nothing. The planet weighs 6 sextillion tons. Humans are light. The collective mass of humanity is a rounding error. Even if everyone huddles in one city, the impact is negligible. The Earth barely notices the shift. It is like a flea jumping on a cruise ship. Nothing happens, or so the basic math suggests. Wait. Physics cares about the center of mass. When everyone jumps, the Earth is pushed away. It is a tiny distance. We are talking about a fraction of a proton. The planet shifts a microscopic amount. Then gravity wins. Everyone comes back down. The Earth moves back. The net change is 0. This is boring, but we ignored the logistics. To make this work, 8 billion people must stand together. This requires a landmass the size of Rhode Island. Everyone is packed tight. The crowd is a solid wall of flesh. The coordination requires a global synchronization of atomic clocks. Now the jump happens. The ground doesn't move much, but the people do. The ascent was a failure. The descent is where things get interesting. 8 billion people hitting the ground at once creates a sound, not a pop, a shockwave. The air is compressed instantly. Eardrums shatter globally. This is a very loud mistake. The impact energy is massive. It is not enough to move the orbit, but it is enough to shake the crust. 8 billion sets of feet act like a single planet-wide hammer. This creates a seismic event. The shock wave ripples through the tectonic plates. Cities built on fault lines experience immediate failure. Skyscrapers sway, bridges snap. The ground liquefies under the weight of the collective landing. This is not a geological event. It is a biological earthquake. The energy transfer turns the soil into a vibrating slurry. People don't just land, they sink. The crust absorbs the momentum, turning kinetic energy into heat. The ground beneath the crowd warms up. It is not a volcano, but it is uncomfortably warm. Now the atmosphere reacts to the sudden movement of 8 billion bodies. 8 billion people jumping creates a massive displacement of air. A wall of wind moves outward from the crowd. This is a human-generated hurricane. The air pressure spikes. This pressure wave travels at the speed of sound. It hits the surrounding forest. Trees are flattened like grass. The wave reaches the ocean. A localized tsunami forms. The water is pushed away by the sheer force of the collective jump. This is atmospheric piston action. The air is shoved aside, then rushes back in to fill the void. This creates a vacuum effect. Dust and debris are sucked into the center of the crowd. The sky turns brown, lightning arcs between the people. The friction of the air creates static charges. The jump has become a global electrical storm. This is an inconvenient way to spend a Tuesday. Now the heat from the impact begins to radiate. The soil is boiling. The air is ionized. The planet is not moving, but the surface is screaming. The chaos is now absolute. The crowd is no longer jumping. They are trapped in a vibrating, electrified mud pit. The seismic waves continue to bounce through the mantle. These waves interfere with each other. They create resonance. The crust begins to ripple like a blanket. This is the global shudder. Tectonic plates shift by several meters. The map of the world changes instantly. New islands emerge from the sea. Existing coastlines vanish. The atmospheric shock wave circles the globe. It hits the other side of the world. People who didn't jump are knocked over by a mysterious wind. The sky is a bruised purple. The Earth's rotation doesn't change, but the stability of the surface is gone. Every building on the planet is now a pile of rubble. The collective effort to move the Earth failed. Instead, the movement of the people destroyed the place where they stand. It is a total systemic collapse. The energy of 8 billion jumps has been converted into pure, unadulterated structural failure. The world is now a very flat, very shaky place. Everything is broken. The silence that follows is heavy. So did we move the Earth? Technically, yes. For a fraction of a second, the planet shifted. The distance was smaller than a single atom. The orbit remains unchanged. The sun is still there, the moon is still there, but the infrastructure of modern civilization is gone. The cost of this experiment was every single building on the planet. The data shows that jumping is not an efficient way to navigate space. It was a very expensive mistake. Now comes the paperwork. The insurance companies meet to discuss the claims. They determine that a global synchronized jump constitutes a reckless act of negligence. All policies are void. No one gets a payout for their house. The world is ruined and the insurance is denied. Subscribe to the What If Club. Next time we find out what happens if you try to eat a neutron star. It will not end well. See you there.